Well, a piece of good news amongst all the horrid news, and that was Nazanin Zaghari-Ratcliffe coming back to the UK at 1 o'clock this morning for a waiting husband and young daughter. And that was a great piece of news. Sadly, it's come at one hell of a price. Not just the over £400 million that we agreed to pay the Iranian regime, all of which makes you wonder, if we paid it now, why didn't we pay it at some point during the course of the last 6 years? But what's really going on here, folks, is the Biden administration have decided they want to reopen the Iran nuclear deal, the deal that Trump vetoed, the deal that was put in place by the European Union, by the Obama administration, and of course, when Boris Johnson was Prime Minister, he was a big supporter of the Iran nuclear deal. Despite opening up, allowing them to make tens of billions of dollars, some of which they used to sponsor terrorism right across the Middle East, and to continue developing a nuclear weapon. We now hear that the Iranian regime are close to 4 nuclear warheads. Despite all of that, I'm told from Washington that the administration under Biden is close to re-signing that deal. It will, of course, get support from the European Union and indeed from the wonderful Liz Truss and Boris Johnson. All of which makes you wonder, why was it on the very same day that the effective ransom was paid and Nazanin came home, and it's great for her, why was it on that day Boris Johnson decided to go to Riyadh to try to get the Saudis to increase their oil output and to sell us some of it? All very strange, you may think. Shortly after Boris Johnson landed, the Saudis executed a further 3 men, following on from the 81 they executed last Saturday. That was the first snub to Mr. Johnson. The second snub to Mr. Johnson was on that very same day, the Saudis announced they've been in talks with the Chinese government and they're considering repricing their oil from US dollars into Chinese yuan. Another massive kick in the teeth from the Saudis to the entirety of the Western world. And the third and biggest snub was he's walked away, Johnson, with his tail between his legs, no guarantees that the Saudis will increase production. And if they do, they're certainly not going to sell it to us. You cannot be friendly with the Iranian regime and the Saudi regime at the same time. So you have to make a choice. Yet our Foreign Office don't seem to understand that. And much as we may not like much of what Saudi Arabia does to its own citizens, they have, at least in some ways, been a reliable business and trade partner. Compare that to Iran, which is still under the influence of the most extreme Islamist organization in the world, as it's been for 40 years, given they want to spread their terror to other countries in the Middle East and the world. There's no question in my mind that Trump was right to say, we work with Saudi, we don't work with Iran. Our foreign policy has tried to do both at the very same time. We will not find Saudi Arabia being friendly to us now in any way at all. And I can see where this is going. There's going to be a new deal with Iran. We're going to be part of it. And we'll end up buying oil from Iran, the worst, most awful theocratic regime in the world. Brexit was about getting an independent foreign policy. Over Ukraine, actually, to be fair, the government have been quite decisive and in many ways led the European Union and led the USA in terms of response, be it sanctions, be it the provision of weapons to help the Ukrainian resistance. When it comes to the Middle East, we are simply all over the place. I'm left with the impression this is a government that actually, at times, doesn't have a clue what it's doing. But I really do think getting back close with Iran is a dreadful, dreadful mistake.
Thank you for watching this video. Now, to make sure you don't miss any future videos, please click the subscribe icon and the notification bell. Until next time, when I give you another story that mainstream media dare not cover.